All right, let's dive into a piece of advice that, honestly, probably goes against everything you've ever been taught about making friends and connecting with people. It's a really simple idea, but trust me, it's powerful enough to completely change the way you build relationships. So let me ask you this. Does this sound familiar? You're at a meeting, maybe a party, and your mind is just racing, trying to come up with the next smart, funny, or clever thing to say. We have all felt that immense pressure to be interesting. And it makes sense, right? From the time we're kids, we're told to have a great story ready, to be charming, to basically put on a performance. The conventional wisdom is that if you want people to like you, you have to be impressive. But what if that entire way of thinking is completely backward? What if the real secret to building deep, powerful connections has absolutely nothing to do with how interesting you are? Well, that's the big idea we're going to unpack right now. This leads us straight into something I call the interesting trap. So let's take a closer look at why that constant need to impress almost always backfires. So here's the heart of the issue. When you're trying so hard to be impressive, it feels forced, and people can sense that. And let's be totally honest with ourselves. Every single person is the star of their own movie. They are always going to be more fascinated by their own life, their own problems, and their own passions than they are by yours. And this is where we get to the big paradox. I want you to think for a second about the most memorable people you've ever met. Are they the ones who never stop talking? Or are they the ones who make you feel truly seen and heard? Almost always, the best conversationalists are actually the best listeners. Okay, so if trying to be interesting is a trap, then what's the way out? Well, the real secret isn't about being interesting, it's about the power of being genuinely interested. This quote is really the core of this whole thing. Just think about that for a second. 2 months versus 2 years. The difference is absolutely staggering. And it all boils down to one simple shift, moving from trying to get attention to genuinely giving it. So what do we really mean by genuine interest? It's super important to know that this is not a tactic or a trick. It's a shift in your focus. It's being truly curious about another person's world, their ideas, their experiences, and doing it with zero agenda. You're not thinking, what can this person do for me? Now, this next part is absolutely critical. You cannot fake this. People have a built-in radar for authenticity, which is exactly why we have to understand the difference between being genuinely interested and just pretending. Let's really break this down. On one side, you have fake interest. We've all seen it. It's nodding along while you're secretly just planning what you're going to say next. It's asking the question only so you can tell your own story. But on the other side, you have genuine interest, and it's a completely different world. It's real curiosity. It's remembering the little details they told you 10 minutes ago. It's about actually enjoying the moment, not just using it to get something. At the end of the day, authenticity is everything. We have all been in a conversation where you can literally feel the other person just waiting for you to stop talking so they can jump in. It completely kills the connection. And you can see this difference in the actual words we use. The self-focused person is a conversation hijacker. They say things like, "Oh, that reminds me of a time," but the interest-focused person asks a real follow-up question like, "Wow, that's fascinating. What made you decide to do that?" One is basically just networking. The other is building a real connection. So why is being interested so ridiculously effective? Well, it's because it taps into a deep, universal human need we all share, the need to feel truly heard. And giving that feeling to someone might just be the greatest emotional gift you can offer. I mean, think about our world. It's noisy, it's full of distractions. The feeling of being truly, deeply listened to is incredibly rare. So when you can give somebody that experience, your full, undivided, curious attention, it's not just a conversation anymore. It's a memorable gift, and it's one people won't forget. And look, this isn't just about being nice. This creates a powerful ripple effect. When people feel truly heard by you, they start to trust you almost instantly. They open up, they want to work with you. This is how real influence is built, not by trying to persuade people, but by connecting with them. This famous quote just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? Years from now, a person might not remember the exact story you told them, but they will never forget the feeling of being seen and heard and valued by you. That feeling, that emotional imprint is what really lasts. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but I know what you're thinking. How do I actually do this in real life? So let's break it all down into a super simple, actionable habit you can literally start using today. And here's the best part, okay?
This doesn't require you to suddenly become this witty, charismatic genius. You don't need any special skills at all. All you need is a simple practice, and you need to do it consistently.
And here it is. This is your big takeaway. In any conversation, just focus on these 3 simple steps. 1. Ask one sincere question, something you're actually curious about. 2. Listen to the answer. I mean, really listen. No phone, no looking around the room, no planning your reply, just listen. And 3. Respond to what they actually said, not to the thing you were planning on saying 5 minutes ago. That's it. That's the whole practice. And when you master this simple 3-step loop, something amazing starts to happen. Remember that social anxiety we talked about, that pressure to perform? It just starts to fade away because the focus isn't on you anymore. You're just there to listen and to understand. And suddenly, relationships start to feel a lot less like work and a lot more like an effortless, genuine connection. So let's leave it with this final thought. The goal isn't to be the most interesting person in the room, it's to be the most interested. So who in your life, today, are you going to give that powerful gift of your full, undivided attention?